folks, welcome back once again to Jack's Tech Corner and another Photoshop Elements and Lightroom video tutorial. Now, as the title I'm sure gave it away already to you on the YouTube video, is family photography. Now, family photography is huge in any market. You're going to go out, you're going to take pictures such as this lovely family. It happens to be my son's family. My son, his fiance, with her two children and their children, their child in the middle, their little baby in the middle there. So they wanted to do a family photo shoot. It was Easter. They were all dressed and prepared to go. So all I had to do was show it with the camera and start snapping some pictures, right? Well, you know, and when you do that, you know, you get your camera out for the first time in a while, they become snapshots. And this pretty much looks like a snapshot. So what we're going to do here in Lightroom, first of all, now if you don't have Lightroom, don't let that bother you, because we're going to go right into Elements and we're going to start working in Elements also. But this is Lightroom. And the first thing I want to do in Lightroom, I like to do a couple quick basic tricks here to try to beef up the photograph a little bit. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to raise the exposure a little bit. And all we're going to do with the exposure is we're going to bring up the exposure a little bit. You don't want to blow it out, right? We don't want to do that. And anytime you feel in Lightroom like you're blowing something out, your slider is all messed up, just double click the slider one time. I'm over here on exposure. And we're going to just go back and we're going to just bring up the exposure just a little bit. Be very careful you're not blowing anybody out there. And as you can see, we had light coming in through the window. We also had an overhead light on the group here. So that's how we got our lighting. The other thing I like to do is just play a little bit with the saturation. You don't want to oversaturate them and change their beautiful colors they had on there. It's just a very, very beautiful photograph there. Very beautiful family. Very easy to photograph. Everybody was into it. And it was very, very easy to do. So there we go. So all we did here was saturation and we did exposure. If you want to play around with white balance, you can use the automatic white balance tool and look for something white on the photo. Okay, I noticed this light switch up here, so we're going to just click on that and see what we get here. Okay, so that the overall white balance then is set. It didn't really change a whole lot, so we're going to just go with that with the eyedropper tool there. The cropping part, we're going to crop just a little bit. You can also do this in Photoshop Elements, but we're going to just crop this over just a little. Don't come too much and try to get all that stuff out there, because what's going to happen is you're going to cut the girl's dress off here. We don't want to cut the girl's dress off. Pull that back a little bit, right about there. And there we go. You don't want to come down too much on the top, because what's going to happen, you start cutting heads off. We don't want to do that. You want to be very, very careful. We can come from the right into the left, but watch the boy's pant leg. You don't want him to have a half a leg. That would be a very bad thing, right? Because you're getting these photographs ready for this family to frame. They want to put it on display in their house. They have a lovely home, and they want to show their photographs off. So we want to make this the best photograph possible for the person. Just click the little crop tool there again, and there we have it cropped out. So I see we have some distractions. Okay, now it's a very natural house, very natural setting, but we have some distractions with maybe some a coat hanging back here in the background. Okay, we want to look at that. We have the light switch here. Maybe we don't want that distraction above the boy's head. Okay, so we're gonna address that, and we're gonna try to address some of this over here on the desk. But it's a natural setting. This is their home. They're very comfortable in their home, and it's a very beautiful home. And we were very fortunate enough to have this seat here to sit everybody on for these photographs. But we're going to clean up some of these distractions so they'll be even happier with this photo. So we're going to right click now. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop this over, edit in Photoshop Elements Editor. And it says here, edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. Okay, you don't just want to edit a copy. We want the Lightroom adjustments because we just made those. Why do we want to lose those adjustments? Click Edit. And there we go. Now we are in our Photoshop Elements Editor. This happens to be Photoshop Elements 15. Again, you can do this in any Photoshop Elements version. These are very basic tools that we're using here, so they're available to everyone. First, on the Mac, we're going to do a Command J. If you're on a PC, you'll do a Control J. And we'll duplicate that background layer. That way we're not going to be destructive to the primary photograph. We have a copy of that that we're going to work with here and play with. So the first thing I would suggest you do with this is what I like to do when I'm doing any type of professional photography settings, okay? And what I want to do is I want to go up to the top here, and we're going to magnify this. I take about a quarter of the photograph. And why I do that is because now I can look for distractions. I can see if a hair's out of place I want to fix. I can see if there's maybe the baby has a little bit of milk dribbled on his chin. Maybe you want to clean that up, right? So you want to look at this photograph and get a very good view of it. So you want to take your time. Again, this happens to be my family. But wonder if this is a client, you know, maybe it's a client you're working for, they don't know you, and you want the very best product. Well, I want the very best product for my family. Already right here on the little girl's head, we see a little piece of hair sticking out, okay? Now, mom might think, well, I worked hours on her hair, and I want that hair to be clean. I want that hair to be nice because I worked hours on this girl's hair. So we'll just use our little spot healing tool here. Very nice tool. I use it all the time. And we're just going to go right over that little piece of hair and blend it right into her head. Okay, so we don't even really see that happening. All right. The next thing I told you we would address is the stuff over here on the couch. But now that I have this in Photoshop Elements, you know, it looks like we're going to go back to our magnifying glass and go to fit the screen. It's going to be hard to cut that out because I don't want to cut her dress off. All right. So for us to do this, we can try to crop it. And I think we will try to crop it just to see how close we can come to getting rid of that stuff. A little bit closer there. Right about there. All right. And remember the right side. We don't want to lose the little boy's pants by any means. And click OK. All right. So now we see this. We're going to bring our magnifying glass back into play. Blow this back up. Again, 1/4 of the photo. 1/4 should be good because that's going to get it big enough where we can start really getting into this photograph. Let's try again to use the spot healing tool. And we are going to try to get rid of this distraction. Okay, so what we did there, we added a little bit of couch onto that side. But in the overall photograph, we may not even notice. Let's see here what we got now. Okay, so we got rid of the distraction over here, and the couch just looks like it's kind of just sitting right there. So it's really, like this could be in front of the couch. So it's really not a big distraction. If it is, what we can do now is we will do a little bit of freehand painting. We can try that. Okay, we'll try to do some freehand painting with a brush here. And we have the brush. We're going to pick a color. Now, when you pick a color, the thing is you want to use the color picker, because we want to match the wall. You'll never match the wall by going on this color picker. Just come over and just click on it on the wall and pick up the color of the wall. Now if you use this brush tool, we should be able to just take a couple brush strokes down there. Okay, we're just going to blend this in. Go over a couple times there. So again, all we're doing is just blending that in there with the wall color. And we see now that that distraction over there is gone. Okay, we don't have to worry about that any longer. Once you're done, let's go back to that 1/4 of the photo. You can see now that the distraction's gone. Okay, we got the couch back to its normal shape. We got rid of the little thing sitting there. If you want to go over that a couple more times, we by all means can do that. You can definitely do that. Your color picker still has the same brush tone. You can raise your opacity a little bit. Maybe you just want to make it a little darker. Just like so. All right. Once that's done, use your move tool and just move the sliders back and forth. Now we can start looking at the other quarters of the picture. Okay. So we're going to raise our brush size here. We're using the spot removal tool, and we'll just go over top of this. And you can see there very quickly where it got rid of it. All right. So we got rid of that light switch. You don't have to worry about that. I am a little concerned with this back here, but you know, it is what it is. Be very careful of your surroundings. Let's go down towards the bottom of the photograph here. Look at the bottom corner. Okay, it looks like it's okay. Some of you might be saying, why did the baby not have any shoes on? He does not like his feet covered. So that's okay. Looking down here, what you're looking for on the pants is any lint, any hair, anything. My son's fiance is an amazing fiance. She keeps her clothes very well pressed and rolled off. She pays attention to detail very well. So it's very unlikely I'm going to find anything, but I like to go over this just to make sure it looks okay. And come back up here. And if you really wanted to, like at the top of her hair right here, we see a little hair out of place. Women and hair, folks, you know that they're very meticulous about their hair. So we're just going to clean up a couple of these stray stragglers here. Again, I'm using my spot healing brush. Maybe this one hair coming this way. And see, that's why it's very important to blow your photograph up so you can actually get in there and see what's going on. That looks very good. We're not going to worry about the hair over the shoulder. This is a very natural look here. Okay, so we're not going to worry about cleaning up all those hairs on her shoulder. I don't think that's necessary because it is a very natural look. Let's go back to the magnifying glass and we'll go down to fit the screen. And now we can see where we got rid of the distraction on the wall. Okay, it's gone. The light switch is gone. Everything looks very, very well there. So is there anything else we can do with this photograph that we haven't already done? Okay, so at that point, I feel the photograph looks pretty decent. You know, you may want to up your levels a little bit. What I do then is I just go up here to the fill and adjustment layers. I go to levels. Then I'll just bring my levels up a little bit more. Just to show this happy family here. Just like so. And there you go. There's the photograph that we were looking to achieve. Let's fit it back to screen. And there you go. So there's your happy family on their Easter day photo shoot. And I think they're going to be pretty happy with this one. I think this is going to be what I like to call a wall hanger. And we did set up another photo shoot with this family already because they are so photogenic, aren't they? And I think it's going to be a good time. So, folks, thank you so much for watching this episode of Jack's Tech Corner. And I hope you check out the video tutorials at jtclearning.com. That's jtclearning.com. where you can learn all about your Photoshop elements and learn all of the ins and outs of using all the tools that is available to you in the package. So go there and sign up for one of those courses today at jtclearning.com. Folks, I will talk to you next time here at Jack's Tech Corner. Make sure you subscribe to the videos, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye for now.